Hey folks, welcome to the show, episode 70, Essendon VS Hawthorn review.
Woo! Mighty Horse.
We'll get to the scoreline. We can see why Danny is very happy. So let's get straight into it, folks. We have Hawthorn kicking 21 goals and 19 behinds to finish 145 points. To Essendon's 13 goals and 5 behinds, equaling 83 points, 62-point win to the Hawks, folks. Excited about that?
Yeah, wow. Can't believe it. Especially after last week. Like, I was bagging them big time, but the pressure was on. Good on you, boys. Really proud.
We'll talk about the goals. Essendon finished with Durham with 2. Sharp kicked 2 on his debut game. Dersma 2. Merritt, Frioni, Caddy, El Aka, Perkins, Wright, Caldwell, single goals apiece. Hawthorn, Gunston 5, Watson 4, McDonald 2, Reeves 2, Weddle 2, Chol, D'Ambrosio Moore, Nash, Ginnivan, Newcomb. Single goals apiece, folks. We'll get into the best. Merritt was obviously the best for the Hawks. Sorry, not for the Hawks. He's not playing for them after that controversy. Sorry, for Essendon, Pryor, McGrath, Dersma. Hawthorn's best, Gunston, McDonald, Watson, Newcomb, Ward, Reeves. No injuries to either side. Of a crowd of 71,384. So a decent crowd at the MCG.
Yeah, no, it was good. And I think some of the Essendon supporters were leaving after half-time or third quarter.
Quite early.
Good to see.
Well, as on this podcast, we do try to
sorry
cover
about
both
that.
sides. So, well, it's okay. We got an excited fan here. There's nothing wrong with that, folks. We're going to start with the first quarter. The first quarter, we've got some notes for this game as well. We'll talk a bit about the stat lines as well. So, first quarter, I highlighted that the faster ball use from the Hawthorn Football Club. Gunston's ability to read the ball going back with the flight of the ball, kicking backwards with the flight. I thought he was quite good. I thought he marked the ball well. Read the ball really good at the back. A lot of the defenders for Hawthorn Essendon couldn't quite catch on to. Ward was great. Newcomb and Connor McDonald in the opening first term.
And I think after all we're not going to talk about it because I don't think it's needed.
Scissor-less controversy.
Yeah. I feel like it was just great to see them playing really well, Moore and McDonald and the boys when they did kick their goals, they got around them and supported them. So well done.
I mean, don't go on a scissor list when you're drunk, obviously, but it's a.
Yeah, no,
it's not a end of the world situation. No one got hurt. It was just a couple of lads just having a bit of fun and probably just did something they shouldn't have done. But hey, look.
Yeah, let's not worry about that.
I think it's minor in the scheme of things, and it's just a misdemeanor. So, from Essendon's aspect, Sharp kicked his first goal. As I've highlighted early in the preseason, the rucks, the issues. Sam Durham's work rate early was great. He moved forward, was getting the ball good marking, and kicked a couple early goals just quickly on the scoreline at quarter time. It was still close. It was 4-3 for Essendon to 5-4.
Yeah,
so
that
a 7
first
point
quarter.
lead.
Yeah, that first quarter was pretty good.
It's pretty good intensity. Yeah. They sort of struggled to slow the Hawks though when you got good ball movement, and also Darcy Parish looked good early after all his injuries. So, but Hawthorn, 3 key players there. Sort of from Gunston to Ward to Newcomb to Connor McDonald got hot early.
Well, just the centre, you could just tell that they just suddenly clicked a bit. And I really like the Reeves and Meek thing happening there. Like, gave Chol the opportunity to do his job down the forward and coming up a little bit and giving Meek that bit of rest. And look at Noodle. He kicked 2 goals. Like, how can you not go wrong with that? So, well done, Noodles. I'm a big Reeves fan, so well done.
Yeah, I mean, we got him here. So we'll move to the second quarter, folks. For the second quarter, for majority of it, Hawks were really good with the clearances. So it was 1-6 in the clearances, a goal to four behinds, and that's what they sort of started with, and then they went to 6 goals, and then they carried on to 8 goals almost straight in that quarter. So they ended up with a lead of 6 goals 3. So Essendon kicked 2 for that quarter to 12 goals 11.
Yeah, we held them down.
Yeah.
And it was physical, and to be honest, like, I did end up feeling a bit sorry for Merritt at the end. I don't know. I know, like, wanted to come to Hawthorn.
We'll get to his stat line in a minute.
Yeah, I know he wanted to come to Hawks and all of that, and it was just the club wanting to keep him, and yeah, like, what if he was there? But we did it, and we don't need him, obviously, and yeah.
From that aspect, do you think you have too many players in that mould anyway?
Oh yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
You know, I think we need someone a bit more like a Petrarca build. We've got too many.
Like Bailey Humphries would have been a good fit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So.
And that's like saying about Butters. Like, I think Butters is a superstar, but Butters is like a Will Day to me. Like, he gets injured a lot as well.
Yes, he's had knee injuries early in his career.
Yeah.
Like, lucky enough, he got over those injuries. He's had a couple of, like last year, for example, he had groin surgery and it was delayed start to the season, which really hurt.
Yeah, so.
My team.
But yeah.
Do you think? Yeah.
I mean,
anyway. Those little things. Will Day's injuries are more longer term than, say, Butters' 6 to 8 weeks sort of stuff. But injuries and injuries. So with the key tools, I thought they were really good for Hawthorn as well.
Yeah, that was so good.
I thought Mitchell Lewis worked hard, but didn't get enough reward for how hard he worked. He still disappeared in parts of the game. But 2 goals to Ned Reeves. Like you said, you're pretty happy with the big fella.
Definitely.
7-foot giant.
And I want to give a shout out to Schubert.
Schubert.
Yeah, down at Box Hill. He kicked 3 goals right at the end to
3 goals in 3 minutes.
Yeah, catch the win. So well done to him. Well done. Woo!
Good SA lad from Central, folks, down in the homeland from where I'm near from. So shout out to you, mate. You're doing well and representing the state well. And the area from where I'm from down that way. So shout out to you, mate. Connor McDonald was the highest rated player throughout.
Yeah, he played really good.
And we'll just quickly, before I finish off your notes there, we'll talk a bit about Essendon as well. So Frioni missed a few easy shots in front or on the run. Didn't have the impact I thought he would have. He still did okay, but still relying on those experienced older players, especially coming over in the off season. He needs to like show the players that he is experienced. Sharp kick his second goal.
Is he that new guy?
Yeah, so Central Districts also.
Yeah, good on him. Like, you know, boo Essendon for me, but no, good on. Good to see young lads get in there and kick some goals. I saw his family there, and they were also pumped up. So, yeah.
Oh, I pumped him up during the off season. Said he could have been number 1. So, but he played. He isn't playing a predominantly.
And he's playing at the club that he supports.
Yeah. He's not playing that predominant midfield role. He's playing a half forward / mid, like what he played at Central District. Okay. So, in the league side, so he's going to come in and eventually be a midfielder, and he's definitely got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, Essendon let 8 goals go through and couldn't stop the tools. McKay was the only tool who made any impact. So McKay for Essendon, he tried his guts out. The ball was just coming in like hotcakes, and look, it's very hard on a tall defender to stop him. So, but yeah, I thought McKay actually tried really hard and they need just that key tool to help him. That's why they need Blankston down back, folks. They don't have a ruckman. They can't just keep.
Is
playing.
He normally a?
He was drafted as a key defender. Okay. So from an Essendon perspective, I've been saying that they need a ruckman, and I know it's probably most Essendon fans probably know that, but it's such a big. This is going to be an ongoing factor for Essendon, and this is not just picking on Essendon. This is just a simple thing. I made the statement through the off season.
Was there a good ruck in the trades or in the young lads going through?
Brendan Teakle got was from Adelaide, then he went to Kangaroos.
Okay, so they could have picked up a couple.
And then he got dropped from Kangaroos. Like, he's just one that you could just throw in there.
Yeah.
And just like, you can look through all the lower leagues, like the SANFL, VFL. For a ruckman, Harry Boyd, even, who got dropped from St Kilda, they need to fix that. You can't have... they're just lacking those tools. Okay, it's not a dig. It's just the list management haven't got that right. So, but Durham moving forward, won the centre. If they won the centre bounce, but allowed the Hawks to gain extra centremen, so they still moved. They're trying to move the ball forward, and but also the defensive aspect of it. It allowed the Hawks to get an extra centreman into that midfield, and if they didn't win the ball and relied on that sort of speed, you had like Amon and Impey that would run up as well with him, because they'd start playing Durham off the half forward and letting him run in, and the Hawks were just really good at counteracting that. So that gave them a lot of dominance, either from the centre or the defensive halfback aspect. So the Hawks, Tom Barrass's key marking down back as well. What do you think of Barrass's performance?
Yeah, well, he got that state pack at the end of the game, so shows how good he played.
It's a big state pack, wasn't it? A few tomahawks.
No, he was great. Look, all the backline players, they just seemed to have gelled and clicked, and a little bit sloppy near the end with Scrimshaw and doing a bit of lazy kicking in Sicily, but... apart from that, though, I can't complain. Like, I'm going to keep a little bit quiet here because I'm just happy with them. They just really played well, and they showed that grunt, and they tackled hard, and just really did such a good job. Like last week, they were so slow and sad, and yeah, this week they were just really proud.
It's only early. It takes a bit of...
It's only early. Like next week we have... Thursday night we have Sydney, so yeah.
But I mean, it takes a little bit of run in the legs to get players get going, and you blow out the cobwebs. It's early time of year. Teams get fitter and fitter.
And look at Watson, how he just jumps up and... Yeah, he's just such a little star, and I love Guinea's hair. Looking like Guinea again. Not that he didn't before, but yeah.
We'll go on to the...
And Guinea, what I like about him too is he's... does a bit of fairness too with his play, like he's not
team first player.
Yeah, like he would kick to another player and let them get the goal instead of trying to kick it all himself.
He missed a little bit of the preseason and looked better as well. So
yeah.
So we'll move. This is the third quarter now. We'll we've got a few notes here, so we're just gonna bring a few things up. Yeah, as we mentioned, Tom Barrass, James Sicily, Jarman Impey all showed their intercepting flair.
And kind of like, look at Weddle, like he just plays the whole field. Like some people I've heard say that he should be just having one position, but if having just that one position, he's everywhere. Like he's up forward, back, and I think that's just how he plays in general. Do you think?
Look, he's such a versatile player. Yeah, you're lucky to have and look. Essendon were going to give this man $10 million, so they're really looking at that as someone like that that can play that versatile role. And look, it's a player that they need. They don't have that tall defender, so that's what we're talking about with Blankston being a defender from a Essendon standpoint. But we'll get into the third term. Hawks were playing like a team, and they looked fitter, folks. After the cobwebs they'd blown out the last few games, they'd looked back to their normal self.
Yeah, they did. The hot ball's back.
Yep. Sicily playing better with long sleeves.
Yeah, definitely.
You like that one? Rebound from 50 or from the centre looks great for the Hawks. Also, the ability to kick to a target. Their kicking was a lot better. It was on form. And the ability, and players moved to cover the space and used it well and looked better and fitter to run with the ball.
Well, in the interview at the end, Sicily said that Sam threw a bit of acid at them, so this was whatever that means. But yeah, he must have gone down hard at them and just,
Just this is in the third term, so they really, the rebound from 50 was great. Their set up from the centre bounce was really good. The two
lot of pressure.
Reeves,
lot of pressure this game.
Absolutely. We'll just cover Essendon in the third, so forward pressure isn't good enough. Merritt was the second red player at the time, and they were 44 points down. Obviously, Sharp playing mid/forward like he did at Centrals. We just mentioned that earlier, but a key mention from Tom Hawkins, this was on commentary, he compared to him to being like a Joel Selwood type player, which is very high praise. I thought coming from South Australia probably was a bit more like Joel Selwood, but I mean, Hawkins was there live, and it's a big statement by the Tomahawk, but I'm happy to hear that. That's a good praise, and I think he's going to be a great player, Sharp. So there's a lot of positives there, Essendon fans. Just hang on. Caddy had zero impact. 2 metre Peter is a similar aspect that had zero impact. Their key forwards were held on to. You know, you had Barras just marking.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was just everywhere.
And Battle as well.
Yeah.
So, but Redmond had some run and off that half back, but not enough around him to help. So
look at the grunt of Newt there. You know, I think there was a player, I don't know who it was, of Essendon, but trying to tackle him or whatever, and then he just like shrugged him down.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
Now we're going to the last. No, that's it. I think of the third.
Yeah, well. I think their fourth wasn't. I think like missing a few goals. Like how many points did we end up
we're
getting?
still some notes in the third. So Gunston.
Oh, okay.
4 goals. The small forwards were running hard for Hawthorn. There was very clear and sharp kicking from the Hawks. Nash working hard to run forward as well. So Nash sort of played a better game, and we expect a big goal like that to work hard. They cracked the 100-point barrier. Amon and Impey off the half-back run to help the mids. But like we mentioned that with what they were doing with Durham, and it sort of played into the Hawthorn hands. Ward's centre game from the clearance and also to tackle was one of his great games. We'll talk about how many stats he had in a sec. 68% score per an inside 50, which is like almost 3/4 of the time they went inside 50. They scored. So what do you think of that? So every time they kicked inside 50, almost 68%. Yeah. So only 7% off 3/4 each time they scored.
Yeah,
so
that's great, isn't it?
Was it from a fan aspect where it just would
have
been
like
exciting
the whole game?
Because they
the whole game
so
was
much.
Just great. I'm just just proud of them, and can't wait for next week. I suppose next against Sydney to see, because Essendon, don't forget, like everyone was wondering whether Essendon was going to be. They had a couple of their new players back. Were they from injury? Was there many players back from injury from last year?
They've got,
because I know they've got a lot of players out.
There's not much more that they're going to get back.
Okay, so everyone was expecting this to be a lot tougher than what it was.
Yeah.
So
it's a rivalry game for those who don't know. That these two teams do not like each other. It's
that's for sure.
It's the contest of contests. It's tough rival game. Any hometown rivals, that this is the game that's a rival game. So I also have a thing here with the ruck rule where Meek's leg went over. It looked quite stupid. So
even I think even the commentary guys said had a bit of a thing about it too.
It's just this new rule just looks stupid, and it's another thing to add into a game. They want this game to be at the Olympics, apparently, from the head of the AFL.
Oh really? What?
Because they just got this magical idea that they think this game's going to go to the Olympics. It's Australian football and should stay Australian football. Just my 2 cents. Stop. How are you going to have 800 different rules and you want this game to go to Olympics games? How are you going to explain it to someone that lives in Nicaragua? You know what I mean? Like, it's not, how are you going to explain it to someone that lives in Indonesia? How are you going to explain to someone that lives in America? They're not going to get it, folks, and we need to stick to common sense rules. Less rules, it makes it better. I don't have to explain it to people as much. I did a podcast earlier in the year, and it just I sat there for an hour talking about the rules. I still could have went on for another 3 hours. That's how complicated that game is. Stop making it another extra bloody hour. All right.
What quarter are you up to now?
That's my 2 cents for that one.
You up to your last one?
I think everyone feels the same, folks. You feel the same about the rules?
I didn't realise they were trying to do the Olympics.
Oh,
so I think that's a bit lame.
Look, stick to just basics, but please, and more please. Thank you. Lewis taking the key defender helps the other talks. So Mitchell Lewis may not have the impact that you think he has on the game, but he does draw the key defender out of it.
Yeah, I noticed that. A couple of the plays, he would allow that. I think Chol went up for a mark or something. And
almost had mark of the year.
Yep.
For Marbia.
And he picked up it last night too.
So... from Essendon's aspect, they ended a 6-goal run against. Frioni finally kicked one straight after missing a few set shots. Centre clearance was better, but letting Gunston free at the back with 4 goals. Hawks Smalls running out at the back. There was no defensive pressure by the small defenders of Essendon also. So not only did they lack a key defender down there, to stop stuff, they also didn't have enough pressure from the defensive smalls. Caddy's first impact of the game came with a goal in the 3rd term. Done nothing so far before that, due to just Hawthorn's defensive tools were just better. Can't stop the run, too much zone defense, can't react to the ball being like the movement. Can't get the ball inside 50. Choked up in the halfway point with the ball movement and let the ball rebound back into their defensive part of the game, and that just made that's why the Hawks were so good. Your small forwards really locked it in. Also no pressure. Caldwell had 0 impact. One of their main young mids that he's 25 now, I believe. He's starting to get to that age where he needs to own his position. Letting Hawks look like they were running a training drill. So did you feel like that at one stage?
Yeah.
Looked like a training drill a bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's why the boys ended up slacking off a little bit at the end, and missing a few goals. I think they only kicked a couple of goals in the last quarter. But yeah.
Couldn't stop the tools of Hawks. From Marbia Chol to Mitchell Lewis to Gunston, and the run through the middle. So the running of the Hawks through the middle, even late in the last quarter, they still... But Hawks have also double the marks that they had. Back to Hawthorn, just this is the last quarter. Hawks making it like a training drill, as I mentioned. 100 uncontested marking, so they'll kick, chip, kick, and then move the ball. That stagnant marking they were really good at too. 11 set shot goals to 2, and also inside 50 marks were 4 to 18 sort of at the end of the game there. So Essendon only had 4 inside 50 marking to Hawthorn's 18. It might have been a little bit more than that because I would have just finished at a certain point there, but I think they covered. I think it was mostly that at the end. So we'll just talk about the major ball winners. Also, the Hawks won the inside 50 count. So this is what they did finish on, as I'll just finish it because that was a stat I had. But the actual finishing number was 23 to 7. Their midfielders to pressure forward left their opponents in the dust essentially. And Connor McDonald finished on 24 disposals and 2 goals after the week that he had, a controversial week. Dylan Moore finished with 24 disposals and 1 goal, both working to be that elite link inside 50. Weddle and D'Ambrosio used to slide forward if they're playing both on the wing at times, where obviously Weddle would play different positions. But yeah, I mean, Ben McKay moved well in that defensive arc, as we mentioned. We talked a lot about Impey and Amon. Just covering the last lot, folks. Josh Ward's best game with 26 disposals and 5 clearances. How do you think of that game, Danny?
Yeah, like he played, I think against Geelong. He had a real impact on that game as well. So, the pre-season one.
Yep.
So, very happy.
He had good pre-season form for those who didn't see the game.
Pulled up a bit sore, I think, then against Bulldogs. But, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought, he's just back to his pre-season. He could arguably...
And Mackenzie played... I think he played.
Did all right.
He did all right, yeah.
For after missing a game through concussion.
Yeah.
Dersma finished off with 12 disposals and 2 goals. They say a bright spot, but he needs to be better than that, folks. Dersma now is a senior player at Hawthorn. He's come from Adelaide. He knows what...
Senior player at Hawthorn?
Sorry, senior player at Essendon. Sorry, my bad, folks. My bad. Look, I know he played at Adelaide, but he knows what it takes to be a standard player, and also the difference between being a standard player and a better player. He needs to just 12 disposals and 2 goals. He needs to get in that wing midfield and start just like he moved to Essendon to be a midfielder. So he needs to just do
Maybe
better.
they need to do that.
Yeah.
Give him a go because something's missing there.
What else have they got to lose? They lost by 10 goals.
That's right. And if Hawthorn kicked straight, like imagine if Hawthorn kicked straight, or even like 10 of them. Like seriously.
But from a bright aspect, there was a flurry of goals for Essendon late in the last quarter.
Yeah.
Which they went from 9 goals to 13 goals, so they kicked 4 goals to your side, 3 goals. So I mean, it wasn't really much in the end, but they kicked a few goals. You guys kicked a few behind, so I guess you could have kicked more goals than them. Zach Merritt finished with, was it 32?
30 something, yeah.
Yeah, 32 disposals, 602 metres gained, and also a goal. So, from his aspect, he's probably sad he's not on the side like yours. Let's just look at some stats. Let's just see how your ruckman work together, and we'll look at that quickly. So let me just have a look. Just bring that up. I just want to hear what you think with these two players playing together. So Lloyd Meek had 26 hitouts and Ned Reeves had 17.
I think that's what changed the whole game.
Yeah.
Personally, is having the 2 ruck there. It gave Meek a bit of a proper rest. And I think when we've like Essendon don't have their quality ruckman happening at all, and I think when we play, who's Sydney's ruck? Is he a dynamite player? Oh,
Brody Grundy.
Yeah. So come on, let's see what happens next Thursday then.
Could have a Marty switching through as a second ruck, or Logan McDonald. Probably more a Marty from that aspect. But look, we'll talk about Essendon's hitouts. Just Lachlan Blankston finished with 19 hitouts. So him and Reeves, like he would have rucked the whole game essentially. With Peter Wright having 6. So
who would have their second be?
Well, Peter Wright, he had 6. So
Okay.
2 metre Peter, but he's more of a forward.
I thought you were joking about that name.
No, that's what Peter Wright's his name. They call him 2 metre Peter.
I don't know.
He is 2 metres tall, so 2 metre Peter, folks. So that's his nickname. It's well known.
I thought that's like
well known for all the. But let's just look from a clearance aspect. Parrish had 6, Durham 5, Blankston 5, 4 for Merritt, 3 for Archie Roberts, 2 for Dry Cardboard. Cardboard, you need more than just 2, mate. That's just not good enough. Just Hawks clearance wise, Connor Nash was 7, so Newcomb 6, Ward 5, Meek 5, Mackenzie 5, Reeves 4, 2 for Waddle, 2 for Moore, 1 for Watson and McDonald, and Hardwick and Ginnivan. There's a few. And Chol got 1 as well. So
the whole team nearly.
What do you think of that? You pretty happy with that?
Yeah, I'm very happy. We can probably finish up, I reckon.
I think so.
Well done, Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'll be on again. Let Michael do his job and everything like that because it's his thing. So yeah.
We'll do some Hawthorn games. I'm happy to have you on for the Hawthorn games.
I don't mind.
Breaks up.
Don't want to bore everyone with me
on
on
the camera,
it.
folks. So, but
Woo! Hollywood Hawks, come back down. Come on.
Enjoy the Super Saturday, folks. Great round of footy. And we'll talk about the Saturday games tomorrow. And then my team finally plays tomorrow. So can't wait. Exciting times. First game of the season. Thank you, folks.